Hey, so I'm not sure how this is going to come out, and it may be, well, we'll just see. All right, I was going through mom and dad's stuff, through boxes and boxes and boxes lately, the past couple of years, of paper, photos, and slides, and documents and whatnot, but I did come across a lot, many postcards. So I'm just going to show you real quick some postcards. So I started putting them in albums. Here's when mom and her sister, I think, took a trip across country. This is in 1942. Like this one here is a little motor court in Iowa, and it's actually got a postal date here that she's written back to her mom in 1942. So all these postcards are in Colorado and all across the country that she's written back. The stamps are, I think that's a 1 cent stamp. It's Colorado. Here's greetings from Iowa up here. Back to her sister. She took the trip, her sister did not. So all of these. Then we go into the 50s and 60s, and there's all kinds of stuff here. Like this one is Havasupai. This one's Catalina Island. This one, Karen and I wrote back to mom from the bottom of Havasupai Canyon in the Grand Canyon. We hiked there in 89. This one is mom wrote to me from Catalina Island. And then there's some from Europe, skiing, 1952. Here's one 1937. Then we get into Mammoth Lakes, and there are some really old postcards here. Not just just old. These haven't been written on. These are all old Sierras. Here's one of the full mountain with all the ski runs. This has got up to chair 9. The old Mammoth Mountain, the Mammoth Mountain Inn, chair 3. So chair 9, that must have been the early mid 60s, I would say. Devil's Post pile down here. So there's a lot of Mammoth, and then going up and down right here. Then mom and her sister took a trip to Mexico. This is in 1979. So there's postcards of Mexico. She's writing back to Petrolane, Snow's Corral. There's pictures, postcards of Death Valley, Yosemite in the Sierra. So a lot of these are not written on. She would just buy a postcard instead of taking pictures. That's cool. The tree that you drive through over here. Then there's California and points of interest. These are cool. This one's writing back to Mildred Tunison. That's back to Dad, James B. Tunison, at 8610 Oso. These are cool. This is Olvera Street in Los Angeles. Is a Mexican street farmers market. Very cool. Here's Solvang. These are probably all 60s. The postcards don't have just a printed date on them. So I've had a really hard time trying to date if the card's not actually written on with a postal date. It's hard to find any date information. These are Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, and the freeways. That's cool. San Diego, the East Coast, Texas. Here's some birds and Nassau. She went back with Evie. This was in the 70s, 60s. The Alamo, how to make key lime pie. So it's just a lot of fun cards, old stuff here. Canada, Mom and Dad used to live in New York. I think was the closest to Canada. Well, they were in, she was in Chicago for a while. But Canada. So those all go Canada. So that's a lot. Okay, hang on. There's a little more. I'm just going to take you right over here. But a lot of the cards were too big for that album. And some cards are actually a little oversized. I don't think you can tell. But so these are some Florida. But this whole album is a little oversized postcards, so I had to get a bigger special thing for those guys. So this is all Florida. Her and her sister took a trip to Florida. Here's Southern California again. This is going up Highway 395, which is really cool. There's a couple in here I'll show you, and then we'll see where we're at. It's Virginia City. Some aircraft. This is too cool. American Airlines with the propeller spinning here. This one I love. Republic Aviation. It's United. Here's the desert. These are super old. I can just tell. Europe. So Mom and Dad were both in Europe at different times. Dad was in Switzerland right after the war, so a lot of these are from that era. So these cards are from the 40s, but most of them have not been written on. Most all these cards have not been written on, but quite a few have. Back to Canada. Squaw Valley Olympics. Mom and Dad went to the 1960 Squaw Valley Olympics. Here's one of a ski jumper, and it's the same card, but it's all silver. I don't know if you can tell what that is. And that one does the same thing. Really cool. Disneyland and Disney World. These are old. They're all old. Okay. Where's the one I was looking for? Miscellaneous. This one here. Reno, the biggest little city in the world. There's Mammoth and Tahoe. We went to, Dad got stationed in Pensacola for a while. Pensacola, Florida. So we lived in Fort Walton Beach. And the Republic Aviation put us up. This is 1958, so I was 7 years old, and Jim must have been 11, 12. We went to school there, Jim and I did. Took a bus every day. Whoa, man, got stories to tell about that. But this one is the hotel, the Blue Horizon in Fort Walton Beach. That's too cool. Karen and I took a trip last 2 years ago and tried to find this, and it's gone. But there is a gigantic hotel in its place, not the Blue Horizon. But that was a cool place. Yep, so there's other things there, and then there's just one more group that I did find here. This one is when Mom and Dad first got married. They were living on Long Island, and this is the Huguenot Yacht Club, which they were members of. Their Dad's mom and dad had a little bit of money, so they were members of the yacht club. And so these are all really old, around New York area. Here's more Mammoth stuff and Death Valley and Scotty's Castles in here, but I'm just going to zoom to the end here. Oh, here's some from, Karen sent some from Penang when she was working, and different things here. When Mom first moved out, these are Phoenix, so I think she probably got some of Phoenix, or maybe when she came out to visit Knott's Berry Farm. But there's some old European ones here, the Isle of Man. Here's one that Dad got of a little skier with his butt hanging out there. Some Spanish dancers. And then these cards here I'm going to end with is this one and this one are both the Red Cross Rainbow Corner. Is what the Red Cross was doing in Europe during World War II. This is in Paris and this one was in London. So these are super cool. Oh, the litany, a Cornish litany. These are really strange, cartoonish, ghoulish, cartoonies. I've looked these particular cards up. I see them at around $50 a piece. So I'm going to leave it at that. Bye.